Hey guys, it's Kelly here and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another bookish video. Today I'm going to be talking about 4 books that I did not read. I don't even own. And that's the idea of this whole little exercise. So I found out that one of our Bulgarian publishers actually uploads the first 20 to 40 pages from every book that they publish, and you can read it online, and it's basically just try a chapter. And I thought that because I am guilty of buying a lot of books that I don't read immediately, some of them land and stay on my TBR for years. I buy in bulk books that I never actually get to, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of people maybe don't want to admit it but are kind of like me, and I think that try a chapter book challenge before you buy it is actually really great. At least it's going to be great for me, because especially in Bulgarian, because the translation makes the book basically an entirely different book. I feel like sometimes a lot of things get lost in translation, or maybe you don't like exactly the writing style. So sometimes that also helps me to distinguish whether I want the book in Bulgarian or the book in English. And most of the times I tend to read the books in English just because I prefer the original language, if that's the original language. But sometimes the English books are just way too expensive here in Bulgaria, so I resort to buying the translated versions, which is not something bad. I actually really enjoy. I've done book cover battles with Bulgarian covers versus UK and US versions. I'm going to do one more for certain, but it's really fun, and sometimes, as I mentioned, it's just easier to buy the translated version. But there are a lot of times where Bulgarian publishers just don't publish the books, and because everything is in series now, it's so rare to find a standalone fantasy or a standalone sci-fi. Everything comes in trilogies now or along with series, and ain't nobody got time for that. So I feel like I need to be prepared that when I go into the book, I'm going to be enjoying it and not buy a full series and end up just disliking the first book. So that long intro out of the way, I have 4 books that I'm going to be talking about. Unfortunately, only one publisher in Bulgaria does that. So I found a few. I actually found 7 that, or no, 8. I found 8 that I am interested in buying from this publisher, but I want to test them out. So I've read 4 of them so far, and I am going to be giving you my opinion on the first 30 pages of each of these 4 books. So the first book is An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green, I think it was. And it tells the story of this girl who accidentally becomes a viral sensation, and these machines or art pieces or something are scattered around the globe, just magically appear one night, and she's actually the first one to film and document one of them and interacting with one of them, and she kind of breaks the story in a way. She is a graphic designer, and from what I've heard about the book, it basically blows up from there. She blows up, and it's about her finding fame that she didn't necessarily wanted, or not knowing what to do, all while these alien things are a mystery on the planet. But so far, I read the first 30 pages of it, and so far I actually really enjoyed it. I was not expecting it. I thought it was going to be a lot more teenish than I would enjoy, but it was actually a lot of fun. The main character is a graphic designer, and the way she talks about graphic design and the way she draws comparisons to life and her designs is actually a lot of fun, and I enjoy the plot so far, and I actually think I'm gravitating towards buying the book and reading it. Also, if you're Bulgarian and you're wondering about the translation, it's good. I recommend it. So yeah, I think I'm going to maybe buy the book. We'll see, but I am definitely gearing towards maybe. Next up, I tried a few pages of NEVERNIGHT. This is a booktube cult, I believe, and everyone who loves it absolutely loves it. And I was under the impression, or like basically told by YouTubers on YouTube, that you need to read the physical book and not listen to the audiobook, because the physical one has footnotes that are important and the audiobook does not read through the footnotes. So that's why I want to read it as a physical book. Now, I tried this one, but I don't think I like it, which is a shame. I'm almost scared to say so here on BookTube. I feel like people are gonna come after me. But yeah, I don't think I like it very much. Maybe something gets lost in the translation, but I feel like it's extremely complicated and confusing, and I did not understand the first chapter. I don't know what was going on. There's very little explanation. You're just kind of thrown into stuff, and I was under the impression that it had some sense of humor and there was something humorous about it, the footnotes or something like that, and I don't find anything particularly funny. Maybe that was false advertising, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna be buying this book, or I'm going to try and find a chapter in English and see if maybe something got lost in translation. So far, I don't think I'm going to be buying this book, and that's kind of disappointing. I expected to love this one, actually. Shame. Book number 3 is A Curse So Dark and Lonely. I read the first chapter, and it's cool. It's nice. It's a Beauty and the Beast retelling with some cerebral palsy, I think, representation. The main character that's supposed to be the beauty has cerebral palsy, and she is determined to just not show that she has any kind of problem, that she can be as badass as she wants to be, even though she is in a way disabled. I didn't quite enjoy this one just because it felt a little pushed. And I feel like because the main character, she lives in our world and she gets kidnapped by the Beast's lackey, and she gets dragged into his fantasy world, where my understanding is there's a curse in which every night he turns into a beast and murders everyone in town, something like that. Of course, you know, Beauty and the Beast, she's going to break that curse at some point. They're going to find love, and she's probably gonna break the curse. But she gets dragged into this world. She tries to escape, which kudos, that was cool. But there were these moments that I felt like were very not thought through. For instance, she had a wrench with which she defended herself, and the beasts, or like Prince, automatically knew when she threw or she hit him with the wrench. I don't remember, but he automatically knew that was a wrench, and it was supposed to be a medieval setting. He's not supposed to know what she was holding. At least I was under that impression. It felt a little bit forced, kind of too teenagerish for my personal taste, but it seemed interesting. I've heard a lot of good things about it, but I've also heard a lot of bad things about it, so I guess it's one of those books where you have to read it and figure it out on your own. I am definitely not going to be buying this one though. And the last book that I'm going to be talking about is Aurora Rising. I love that book. I absolutely love it. I am definitely going to be buying it. I was drawn towards the cover. I'm not gonna lie, that is the truth. I am not ashamed to say it. I was drawn towards the cover. It's a gorgeous cover. So I was interested. I know it's a sci-fi, and I think it's a young adult sci-fi. I absolutely loved it. Even in Bulgarian, I absolutely loved it. It was translated so well, and the way that you jump between the two main characters is really, really well made. It just flows so effortlessly. I absolutely loved it, and so far, not sure what it's about, but basically you have our main male character who is preparing for an exam, and he wants to be a spaceship pilot, I think that was it. He wants to be a spaceship pilot, and he takes his ship for a test run through a wormhole, something like that. But something happens in the wormhole, and he actually encounters a distress beacon, and he goes to see what is going on. It turns out that it is one of the first colony ships that was lost in space hundreds of years ago, and nobody is alive on the ship except one life sign, and he goes in to see who it is, and it's a girl around his age. He saves her, and then they come back. So basically where I ended off was they were both in the hospital. He was missing his exams or his qualifications, something like that, and he was pissed about it, and she was waking up, and that's basically where I left it off. I couldn't finish the whole thing because I read it at work and I had to leave, so I think I had like 5 more pages. Either way, love it so far, definitely going to be buying it. I hope this video was helpful in any kind of way. Do feel free to comment in the comment section down below what you think about the books that I talked about, and especially Nevernight. Do you think I should give it a second shot? Maybe in English, maybe, or even try the audiobook? I don't know. I really want to hear your opinions about that one. So yeah, get to talking in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. You will see in my next haul whether I bought these books or not. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope this was an entertaining video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!